Welcome to our homestead, where there's always food on the table and the coffee's hot. Today we're making popovers. The recipe will be in the description box with a lot of other stuff. Popovers can be made sweet or they can be made savory. This recipe is quick and simple, but it's really good. Popovers have kind of a crusty, flaky outer crust, and then they're kind of hollow inside with like a custardy texture. There's very few ingredients in popovers. They're very easy to assemble. You'll have to let your batter rest a little bit. But all we started with here is I've got 4 eggs in my pan, and I'm just going to whisk them a little bit. And I'm sorry about the camera shaking. I don't know what caused that. And now I'm going to pour in 3/4 cup of milk. I've got whole milk. Now you can use 1% if you want to, but I'm using whole milk. And I'm just going to whisk it up pretty good. And I've got a cup of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to use about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So now I'm going to mix this up real good. Now the one thing you don't want to do at this point, you don't want to overbeat it. But you do want to get your lumps out, and you do want it to be a smooth batter. It'll be almost like a pancake batter, but it's going to be a lot thinner than a pancake batter. So you just want to get your lumps out real good. Now I've got my oven heated to 450. And they're going to go in there at 450 for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then after that 20 minutes is over, you're going to turn your oven down to 350. And then you're going to cook them another 15 minutes. There's not much to it, and that's it. Now I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes, and then I'll take it out of the refrigerator and I'm going to let it sit out for about 20 minutes. Now I've got my popover tins here, and I'm going to put about a 1/2 tablespoon of lard. Now you can use butter or you can use Crisco, but just about anywhere from a teaspoon to a 1/2 tablespoon, whatever you desire. Now my oven's good and hot and preheated, and I'm going to put my popover tins, I'm going to put them in here, and I'm going to melt my lard, and I'm going to get it real hot, almost to the point of smoking. You want your tins to be really hot. Now I'm going to take my batter. I've had it out here. I took it out of the refrigerator that I had in there for 30 minutes. Then I've got it out here and I've let it sit out at room temperature for 20 minutes. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter. It's cooled off. You don't want to put hot butter in there. You just melted. And I'm going to mix my butter in real good. Now you can make a savory popover, you can make a sweet popover. And at this point, if you want to put a couple of tablespoons of sugar in there, you go right ahead. Now you can also make this savory and put you some Parmesan or basil in there with it. Now if you don't have a popover pan, you can do it in just regular muffin tins. And if you want them to rise really high, just make you a mold with foil. But you got to make sure that you really grease the inside really good, because your popovers stick in it. Now my tins are really hot. You can see where my lard has melted, and I'm going to put in my batter. You can see how hot it is. And you want to fill it about halfway full. So I'm going to do each one. And if you were doing it in just regular muffin tins, and you didn't want to do the foil part to make a taller mold for it, you could just make smaller popovers. They just wouldn't be as tall. Just don't fill your tins up too tall. So I've got all of my batter in here. And I've got them in the oven now. 450, 20 minutes. Okay guys, here they are. Now that was $4.50 for 20 minutes, and I turned it down to $3.50 for 15 more minutes. And they turned out great. You can see the outside, it's crunchy, it's good and brown. And then when you open it up, it's kind of hollow inside. But then too, it's like a custardy in there. It's real, when you bite into it, it's going to taste like custard in the middle. But your outside's going to be crispy and crunchy. So to make it even just a little better, I'm going to pour just a little bit of melted butter. Now you could put jam in here, marmalade, but I'm going to use some of my good honey here from my brother-in-law's bees. Just pour me some honey in there. Isn't that beautiful? That looks so good. So now we got to taste it. I'm just going to pull me off a little piece on the end here. And you look at that texture, so good. So let's taste it. That tastes so good. The outside, it's got a good texture. The inside is like I said, it's hollow, but it's got that custard taste to it, because your eggs is your main ingredient, and your eggs, whipping it and getting it frothy and doing like we did is what makes it puff up. These popovers are awesome, guys. Y'all have got to try it. The recipe is so easy, and it's worth it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me. And make sure you hit that notification bell. Hit that little notification bell so you can see some more videos. God bless everybody. And y'all come back and see us.